Wow. Okay, we got lots to do today. Woo! I will be playing this song again later properly and like maybe singing along. But hello everyone. I'm gonna quickly pause the music so I can think. Um, hello everyone. Hello Sam. Thank you for the first. Captain Alice Steele here. You're gonna get like told off. Hello Sims. Hello you guys. I hope you're all having a good day. Okay. So I'm glad that I planned in a relatively stress-free stream today because essentially I did a 12-hour shift yesterday, and because of how it went at work, I won't get into all the work drama, but the issue came where I was that royally screwed that it affected my health, so I've been like in bed most of today because my heart's not been very happy. But sitting here doing the arts, taking my time, completely fine. So that's all good. Second, you know what's really funny? So I was checking my VODs because I was on my other account because I just uploaded shorts like early in the week. Also, we hit 2,000 views on our last short on YouTube. Like, what the fuck? Thank you guys. That's insane. I'm probably gonna upload another one tonight. Anyway, I was checking my VODs and I saw, oh, it's copyright claims, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. I ain't done nothing. They claimed me singing a song. Like, I have my audio set up, so none of the music I play actually plays in the VOD. So if I'm singing, all you're hearing is my voice. They claim my actual goddamn voice as copyright. I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy. It happened twice. I posted it in Discord. It's happened twice. I'm like, what the fuck? You can't copyright my goddamn voice. So I've gone and tested it, and I've been like, yeah, that's me singing. That's my voice. Like, I'm flattered you think that I'm like the actual artist or some goddamn shit. I'm not. My singing ain't that good. 21 stream streak, holy fuck, Sam. You should take it as a compliment. I'm just like, yeah, like, you think I'm that good to like pass as the original artist? Okay, but like, that's my goddamn voice, okay? Anyway, we also have a gift sub sale on today. Basically, it's the thing which Twitch was testing in beta. I don't know if it's coming back next year, but basically I can set sales for gift subs, and I've got like 4 or 5 more installs with like 50 hours left to use up. So here we are. We are trying to use up some of them. So I've done it for about the stream duration today. I can't spell Saturday. Anyway, what else? Today, we are doing commissions. This is my big commission. So this is a big commission, and I'm really, like, happy that I got the chance to do this. Really, really flattered. So it's 17 emotes, so I'm going to try and line 5 of them today, and then do the sketch for 1 more. See how we get, maybe put some flat colours in, depending on how much we get done. I did check the VGen request before I set up stream, and when I made the schedule as well, just to double check. I'm fine to stream it, so in the title, I've given credit to the person who I'm doing the commission for, as it's their character, but this is for Smurfiiee. They seem really, really sweet. I've only had a chance to lurk in one of their streams, like, muted. But, yeah. I think it's gonna be cool. I think they're live now, actually, so I'm gonna just pop them a quiet lurk. There we go. But yeah, we're gonna get started on some of their stuff today. Let me just make sure my screen's set up. There we go. Yeah. I'm just gonna be playing my YouTube yearly mix. So I've just started from the beginning, but I thought I'll do a bit more of an upbeat song for the intro. Whilst you guys are waiting to get in. I'll quickly toggle this off. Yeah, I think that character's really cute. So I have a separate thing with all the emotes I've requested and their references and stuff on one thing, so I could just focus on doing the emote on this. Instead of having too much screen clutter. I have some things I want to talk about today, actually. I'm just gonna yap for a little bit. That's if I don't get distracted singing, but hey. So, one thing you guys might not know about me is I really like, I'm not much of a sports person, but there's one sport which I really like. And that crown goes to Formula 1. Now, I know it's not for everyone, motorsports and stuff, but I love it. And I think part of it is because when I was little, I would sit down on the couch every Saturday and Sunday for a couple of hours and watch it with my dad. And I'd like to say I was close to my dad as a kid and even as a teenager. So I think that's where that comes from. For boat racing or rally races, that's fair. But I really do, I guess, in a way, I miss the earlier seasons I watched. So I first watched F1 when I was 6 years old, and it was the 2007 championship. And I was a little kid. I was easily amused by, if you've seen how the F1 leaderboards look, I'm drawing on the same fucking layer. No! I'm stupid. Yay. When I was 6, I was watching Fireman Sam or some shit. Okay, well, I was watching F1 with my dad on the couch. And when I was 6, you know, you were a little kid, so you were amused by randomest shit. So the 3-letter leaderboard names. So it's basically just the first 3 letters of a driver's surname. And when I first watched it, I was like, that guy's name is Ham. That guy's name is Butt. You know, oh my Jesus Christ. That scared the shit out of me. Deadly Sheep, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just talking about 6-year-old me discovering Formula 1 for the first time with my dad. So, there's little old 6-year-old me, sorry. And I'm like, these guys are funny. And my dad's like, that's an abbreviation of the name. I'm like, my dad was so patient with me, because obviously, when you're little, you have so many dumb questions. But I got to the point where I was like, oh, I like this driver and I like this driver. So I liked like Hamilton. Yes, the surname thing got me. Yeah, so when I was little, I first decided that I liked Lewis Hamilton because his name was Ham. Same for with Vettel. We'll get onto Vettel in a bit. Because I did not like him all the time. I found Rye was funny for Raikkonen. And now, like, I'm older, if you've heard the Iceman's radio messages, you can appreciate that guy so much. He's so fucking funny. He doesn't even try to be funny, but he's fucking hilarious. He's a gem. Where is my music tab? Because it's a little bit loud for me to think. There we go. Has anything got me? Where is... Okay. So, aside from being a little kid who didn't know anything about motorsports when I was 6 years old, I could tell that, you know, I kind of, like, mirrored off my dad a little bit, because obviously my dad had been watching, for years. Like, he told me, like, when him and my mum had their old house and I was still a bairn, he would be, like, stood up, doing the ironing whilst watching the race. So, he's been watching for a while. So, at that point, if you don't know, in the 2007 season, Lewis Hamilton was the new rookie, and he almost won the championship. It was, like, a couple little mistakes here and there which stopped him from winning it. But he was, like, a strong newbie. I love Leclerc's words of wisdom. Yep. Let me get through a few of my drivers well, like later on. But I do love Leclerc. Leclerc is a gem as well. Like, there's a lot of the modern grid, like the new guys, who I really like. There's a few I don't. But I'm not trying to burn bridges if I'm gonna be too harsh today. My seat is full of water. That would be the water. Fucking Ferrari, man. Anyway. So, here comes 2008. Now, 2008, for those of you who don't know, Lewis Hamilton won his first championship. And I remember cheering him on. You know, I wanted him to win, my dad wanted him to win, and the 2008 championship was, like, fought up until, like, the last fucking lap. The last lap. That was how close it was. And some people say it's controversial. I just say, yes, it might have been controversial, but I was 7 years old at this point, and the driver I wanted to win won, so, you know, little 7-year-old me did not know what controversy was at this point, and as an adult, I still think, you know, Hamilton himself as a driver, you know, deserved the win. I think Massa did really well as well. You know, a lot of heartbreak happens in motorsports where, like, drivers you like never get a chance to win a championship, and that's kind of, like, part of the sport. Now, I remember the last race, right? My dad, who I'd watched F1 with all this time to this point, had to do a night shift, and he told me very strictly, you know, don't tell me who wins, I'm avoiding the radio, I'm avoiding the news, I'm gonna find out myself tomorrow because I've recorded it. So, my dad's recording it, but my mum puts on the race for me. So I'm there, little 7-year-old me, and I'm watching, and I'm there on my feet when that last lap overtake happens, and Lewis wins the championship, and I am, like, absolutely buzzing. I'm, like, super happy. But what can I do? I can't tell my dad. So in the morning, when I see my dad, I'm just like, I'm having to be stone-faced. And for a 7-year-old, that's hard, you know? Being a little kid, trying to keep a stone face is so hard. You know, it's hard keeping secrets and shit from your parents as it is, but especially if you're, like, excited, especially when you're younger, and I did not know how I was gonna do it. Oh my goodness. Kitty Moon! Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. So, I somehow... Maddie is considerate of you not telling me right away, though. Yeah! I managed to hold out the entire time. So when my dad watched it himself, like, I finally come back into, like... Because I literally had to step out the room because I was like, I can't hide it from him. So I come back into the room once he's, like, seeing it, and he's like... Like, he's, like, happy that not only did Lewis win, but I managed to keep it from him. And, you know, it was a dramatic win, you know. It was, like... My stream doesn't have a 5-minute delay. But... yeah, it was just... it's like a core memory for me, I'd say. You know, keeping that from my dad, keeping that big secret from my dad, being able to, like, rewatch bits of it with him, finally, like, once the secret's out. And then we come to the next season, and I'm like, I'm still, you know, I'm like 8 years old at this point for the 2009 season. I'm still a little bit immature because, you know, I'm still a little kid, and I'm still like, oh, that Buck guy's gone on to this green team. So that's Jensen Button, and he went to Braun. Because Braun was a new team that year. And, my dad also liked Jensen Button. So I was like, well, I like this guy. And he ended up winning the championship that year. And I was like, oh, I'm happy. 2 years in a row, people who I like have won the championship. So, this is when the naivety comes in, where I'm like, oh, every time someone I want's gonna win. No, that's not how it works. 2010 comes around. 2010's an intense championship. Remember Vettel from earlier? How I was like, oh, I like this vet guy. British nerd. Cheese. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Zays. Yo, we're into story time. So, I remember very specifically, so my dad, like, collected F1 caps, so he had a couple Jensen ones, including, like, an old Jensen one from, like, the early 2000s. He also had a Lewis hat. He got a newer Jensen hat from the Braun days, because Braun didn't last 2020, so Jensen went to McLaren, and Lewis was at McLaren, so I'm like, my two favourite drivers are in, like, my favourite team. I'm so happy. They're definitely gonna win this year. The naivety of this 9-year-old at this point. Yeet! There we go. Don't call her a nerd, call her what she really is. Old. Thanks. I always assume streamers are younger than I am. I'm 25. I turned 25 a couple weeks ago. Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Child. Well, I'll take it, because everyone else is calling me old. But goddamn. Can I not just be a normal adult age without being called a baby or a grandma? Anyway. So, I'm 10 years older than you. Oh my gosh! That's still cool, though. Literally, like, half of my coworkers, like, are in, like, their mid to late 30s. And they don't even look it. 29 going on 30, about to hit unk years. Everyone in this chat calls me fucking aunt. So, you know what? I'm taking it. Where you guys are, like, not calling me a fucking grandma. I got called a hag as well. These guys call me hag. I get bullied. All fun and games, though. All fun and games. But hey. That's looking good. Okay, so. Where were we? Peeps love the hag one. Yep. So. We are on the 2010 season, and at this point, like, my feelings for good old Vet have been, like, deteriorating a little bit. He was, like, in the fight for the 2009 championship, I believe, from memory, if it serves me correctly. And I was kind of like, well, I don't want him beating Button. Oh my god! Dragon, they give him a tier 2 for 11 months. You're talking about something I know nothing about, so it's just over my head. I'm talking about Formula 1. So, anyone who's joining in, just to catch you up, I'm talking about F1 and my experiences watching F1 from a little child, sitting on the couch with my dad. Where was I? Yeah. So, my feelings for good old Vettel were going downhill because, I mean, well, I'm a child. I, want my favourites to win. I'm in my mum's car, vroom vroom, fuck's sake. And it comes to, I think it's the second race of the season in 2010. And me and my dad watching, we both got hats on for Jensen. And then Vettel does a really dirty move and takes Jensen out of the race, completely fucks his radiator, so he's out. And he gets a drive-through penalty. And I remember all the McLaren mechanics just giving Vettel the evils and shaking their head in annoyance and disappointment at him as he goes through the pits. And I'm like, both me and my dad, like father, like daughter, threw our hats to the ground in, like, anger at the incident when it first happened, and we're just there like, bruh. Now, me as a young lady, and also because I was only 10 years old, not even 10 years old, I was 9 years old, and this was in 2010, I was not allowed to swear, and I didn't really know swear words at that point anyway. Like, I heard my parents swear, but I never even dared to think of saying them myself. But I was here wanting to, like, say some, like, something really bad. Like, really curse out Vettel, so I just called him, like, fucking poopy head or something. You know, the very, I'm an innocent child and I can't swear in front of my parents kind of insult. And I was just like, no, I don't like this guy. And it was also, like, frustrating for me because, like, my two favorite drivers were in the same team and they weren't winning as much as I wanted them to. Yeah, I was 9, okay? It's serious. Fucking poopy head R driver, for real. So, and, where am I? So, anyone who... Dragon, are you there? Sorry to interrupt the story. I'm not going to, have other people in my chat harassed when they're not speaking to you, Mr. 4, so if you carry on, you will be muted. Anyway. Anyone who doesn't know how the 2010 championship went, or 11, or 12, or 13, Vettel won. He got 4 world championships. And, you know, as a grown-ass, mature-ass woman now, I you know, no, it's just a race, no, it's just a thing. But Vettel was still a young driver, and he did have a bit of cockiness, which, you know, I'm sure he looks back on himself and he's like, wow, I was a bit of a dick sometimes. But, yeah, I was not happy for those few years of F1 because I was like, the drivers I like aren't winning, and I'm still, I'm a young child, so I don't really understand. Thank you, Dragon. But you know, now, grown woman, Bell's an alright driver. And I think, like, later on when he got close to retiring, because he retired for his children, his wife had a baby, and, you know, it was really cute. I, you know, think he's a good driver, and he does care for the other drivers on the grid. And I'm sure, like, him and, like, Hamilton and Button and all that now, there's no issue there. And I'll get onto it later, but F1 does like to hamp up driver interactions to make it seem like there's a big drama going on. But hey. There we go. Done one line out. Let's go. So we get to 2014. Now, 2014 is important for a couple reasons. Now, if you didn't know, back in 2009, when Braun were in the championship, Felipe Massa sustained a head injury caused by a spring that came off of Ruben Barrichello's car. And it basically cracked his helmet just above his left eyebrow. And it was a serious incident, and he had to have surgeries and a long recovery. And he came back to the sport in 2010. But yeah, it was a bad incident. 2014, a tragedy happened. In terms of, we had the first F1 driver death since Ayrton Senna in 1994. And I remember seeing it. The wheel. It was a difficult one because I was getting to that age of, like, understanding things a bit more. I was 13. So I was understanding a bit more, you know, bad things can happen in the world and yada yada yada. But I hadn't been around during the years where there was, like, more F1 deaths. Like, there'd never been an F1 death in the time that I'd been watching. And the internet wasn't as big then. It was, like, starting to grow in 2014, but I didn't have internet access except at school for schoolwork, occasionally going on my computer for homework. But it kind of, like, after that, I kind of, like, come to understand a bit more, like, how there's a lot to the sport behind what I knew. Like, I knew a little bit about Ayrton Senna, as he's Hamilton, as well as many other drivers' inspirations and icons. But seeing the incident, I believe it was the Suzuka circuit, and one driver went off because the conditions were torrential. It was a typhoon had hit, and they still tried to continue the race. It had to be red flagged, and then it was restarted, and then the rain came a little bit less aggressive, so they were like, okay, we'll let people drive normally. And then the rain came down harder. And a lot of drivers were now struggling again. Because, of course, it's a fucking typhoon, you know? Even the most experienced and the best wet drivers will struggle. And be one sec, no worries. And a driver came off at one of the corners, when it's for barriers. I think it was Kubica, or Kubica, I think. Now, they're okay, luckily. But the FIA made a bad call that day. They decided to not bring out a safety car. And the drivers were still racing whilst they brought out a recovery tractor. Not even a lap later, another driver came off of that same corner. And I don't recommend you look for the footage or anything. Like, you know, if you want to see, it's out there, but like you don't want to see, you know, these fatal crashes are nasty. But a driver by the name of Jules Bianchi came off at that same corner because of the torrential conditions and hit the recovery tractor. And where he hit, his head was basically in the entire firing line. Like, when my brother was there, I think, shit. Yeah, it wasn't good. So I remember seeing it, and I remember my dad seeing it, and I was just like, oh fuck, I hope it's okay. I didn't swear. Like, I was not allowed to swear. Like, I'm still technically not allowed to swear in front of my parents, but they don't care if it slips out if I'm talking about something I'm passionate about. Like, they're just like, well, you're 25 and you have a mortgage, so, you know, they kind of let me off a little bit more lightly now. But I was like, I was not allowed to swear as a kid. Which, you know, kids shouldn't swear anyway, so, you know, they got a point. But I was like, I hope it's okay. And, you know, I was still like, I guess naive. I didn't really clock where he'd been hit, because obviously his head just hit the recovery tractor. Like, there was no protection there. And it's speculation as to if there was, if that would have even helped, because the G-force which hit him was like nearly 250 Gs. And I remember he was taken to hospital, obviously. He was in the hospital, and we didn't hear anything for a while. And then they said that he was being transferred to his home country. Like, he had a head injury. He was in a coma. He hadn't woken up yet, but he seemed to have improved condition, and they'll transfer him back to his home country in France. But unfortunately, he never woke up. And in 2015, he finally succumbed to the brain injury he sustained. So Jules Bianchi very sadly, very tragically passed away. And I remember, like, every race season after that incident, asking my dad, do we know if Jules is any better? Do we know if Bianchi's okay? Do we know if he's any better? And obviously my dad didn't know anything more. And just hearing him out, it was just like, you know, unreal. You know? If people's, like, watched F1 for years and years, they'll know that death is a possibility in the sport. I was still a kid. So, and I didn't really put two and two together when I heard about Ayrton Senna. So I didn't really put two and two... I'm talking about someone who fucking died and you fish me! For fuck's sake. Oh my god. Anyway, as I was saying, I was still young. I was obviously a teenager, so I knew a little bit more about the world. Oh fuck, I didn't know if I was okay. It was just funny. I was just like talking about a tragedy and then fish. Oh my god. But it was like, I guess it finally sort of like I had a realization of, oh shit, this boy is like really fucking dangerous. Because like I'd seen bad crashes before. I didn't think seeing ones which are like really bad in the past, I didn't think that someone could like die because like other people survived really bad ones. So I was just like, surely that won't ever happen. And it did. Hello King, how you doing? Honestly, I'm kinda not having a minute delay. Bless you, Sam. But it was tragic. And then a few years later, we got the Halo. And I remember not thinking the Halo was too bad. I didn't think it looked ugly like some of the drivers were saying, and I was just like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. And then you see all the lives which were saved with the Halo, and you're like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, yeah, this shit, good thing we have the fucking Halo. That was literally the consensus, like, in the first, after the first couple races of the 2018 season, it was just like, oh fuck, the Halo's fucking goated. I don't know why we were complaining before. But thank you for the hydrate. Let me just finish this line. Whee. Before we get to that, hydrate complete. We gotta get to the previous 2 years. 2, 3 years? 3 years. Maybe 4. So 2014 is when Lewis won his second championship, and obviously I was like, yes, the guy who I like, I still like Lewis, and he's won again, and I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. And I can't remember if it was that year or a couple of years before when Michael Schumacher was on the field as well. So I kind of like learned who Michael Schumacher was as well, and I was just like, imagine if Lewis beat him. This was a child with just random dreams, and my dad said, oh, you're being ridiculous. Look who's right, Dad! I mean, he's not beaten, but he's matched him, which everyone said was impossible. This little kid called it! You should have bet on it! So, he wins his second championship, third. 2016 happens, and for me, 2016 was a shit year anyway, just because of personal stuff going on. But also, we had the Nico Rosberg fiasco, and I'll just put it this way, I still don't like Nico Rosberg. He's still a bit of a dickhead, in my opinion. But, you know, he retired at the end of 2016, so I don't care. He might have won that championship, but honestly, like, part of me is just like, imagine if, like, shit hadn't been so scuffed and Lewis won it. Just you know, imagine that. Drove like an ass, agreed. He was just like a dick off track as well. He just had that dickish, my daddy has money and I have money attitude. And I know like Lewis can be a little bit poncy now, I guess. You know, like with his diet and stuff, is sometimes a little bit, oh, I have this, you know, I think he's vegan now, isn't he? So sometimes he's like a little bit much. But like he came from fucking humility. You know? Can't wait for us to get a no swear redeem. Well, I gotta get to 450 followers. Yayo! But Lewis came from humility. His dad had to work 3 fucking jobs to put him through karting, and then he had to get lucky to be taken a chance on by I forgot his fucking name now. But he gave him a chance at McLaren, and in his rookie year, he almost won a fucking championship. So he was obviously, you know, he got championship material in him. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, Nico Rosberg's a dick. And my dad didn't like him either. Like, I did mirror off my dad quite a lot, but like, that happens with kids. Ham's earned it, for real. Like, people, like, love to hate on him. And let me, just very quick, mini rant here. Everyone was like, oh, the seasons where Lewis dominates the most boring ones. Where people complaining when, like, Vettel did the same, and Verstappen did the same, and Schumacher did the same. Where are them people now, like... what the fuck's that about? Anyway, we'll get on to, like... We'll get on to Verstappen later, but I already said my piece about Vettel, and I was too young to watch Schumacher because it was from I wasn't even born to I was a toddler era. And I saw a bit of him in the early 2010s when he drove in Mercedes. I think he just did it for fun, really, just to, have a bit of fun. And also, all the respect for family after his accident and everything going on with him, It's not easy dealing with that. I do feel like Hans is going through something IRL recently, but it's completely understandable. His whole life has been pressure. Yeah. And I mean, let's just be real for a second. Ferrari really like to drop the ball when it matters with, like, strategy. Like, I don't know how many memes there are of Ferrari fucking up their strategy. Like, oh my god. And, the sad matter as well is Lewis is getting older. And he admits it himself. He's saying, like, he's slower, and I guess these years have been a bit hard on him because he's saying about not knowing if he can do it and stuff. Like, him winning Silverstone 2024 was him literally saying, I didn't think I could do it again, and, it's just like, oh my god, you're a 7-time world champion! You're, like, the GOAT. Anyway, let me just quickly check I've done this right. That's fine. That's fine. That's just blood effect. Okay, cool. So we have 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. Lewis wins his next championships. And in the middle of that, we get the Halo come in, and the Halo is a fucking lifesaver. Like, massively so. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, you see some of the crashes, and it's just like, holy fucking shit. Now, around 2019, 2020, I'm not watching F1 as much because I'm going to university, I'm older, I'm not able to sit down in front of the telly as much. But I still love F1, and if I can't watch it, I catch up on the YouTube highlight reel. Crazy how long it took to come up with a simple idea for the Halo. Yeah, I mean, there was I think Vettel drove another prototype idea for, like, a shield thing, and I get why they didn't go with it, because even if it was a plasticky screen, that wouldn't have done as much as a titanium barrier, which people are like, everyone's like, oh, it's ugly, it obstructs your view, and I'm like, yeah, but it's better than a tire going into your fucking skull. Windscreen was kind of bad, yeah, but at least they were trying it, which we have to give them props for. Excuse me. The other thing is, we're getting into, like, the modern era, so we have some other drivers coming in. We have Charles Leclerc. Now, I found this out today, that Charles Leclerc was Jules Bianchi's godson. So, and, like, I look at them, and they look similar as well, and I'm like, holy shit. So it's like, whoa. And I figured you knew. I knew, like, what, 2-3 hours ago? I've been on an F1 watching streak lately. I've just, like, been watching so much stuff about it again, just randomly. Just got really into an F1 binge fest. Let me just type this so I remember what I'm fucking doing. Yes, so the whole fam, a bunch of legends for real. But, what am I doing? There we go. So, I remember liking Charles as well. I like Charles. It was pretty cool. I remember, like, seeing him really early on do really well and narrowly miss out on his first win in Bahrain, I think it was, because of an engine issue. Because we love the Ferrari having issues when it matters most. Goddamn Tifosi strikes again. But, we're gonna go serious again. I don't follow the junior categories as much. But I remember the day well. I was in university, and I was visiting my hubs over the weekend, and I was in a Lewis Hamilton Facebook group, and everyone suddenly was posting about an incident in F2, and the moderators were very clear, like, we're not posting crash footage, and I'm like, I don't want to see it. But they were saying that a driver was taken pretty critically. And I remember at some point I did actually see the crash footage. I think it was a censored, like, blurred version, but it was just, like, enough for me to be like, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, that's not good. And I remember just, like, being like, well, fuck, surely the Halo's gonna be fine. You know, the Halo would have saved him, the Halo would have saved him, the Halo would have saved him. I'm, of course, talking about the 2019 Spa F2 Grand Prix. And very tragically, Antoine Hubert lost his life that day. I think it was Saturday, actually. Sorry, I got it muddled up. But it was a Saturday. F2 races on a slightly different schedule to F1. But I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday. It was a Saturday. But I was fucking upset. I was like, fuck me, man. But I think one thing which I've kind of, I guess, looked at when looking at the, like, not looking at the accident, but breakdowns of the accident and such, it was just really fucking unlucky. Basically what happened is, like a normal car, you got crumple zones, right? And they help take the weight, the momentum out from going to you in an accident. I've been in a car accident myself. Instead of all the strength of the car plowing into the car I was in, going into my side and my legs, it went into the car's chassis. So, you know, I still have my legs and shit, so that's good. I have nerve damage in my rib, but I'm not completely, like, losing my lower half of my body, which is great. You know, crumple zones save lives. But a crumple zone can only work once. And typically, once is enough. What happened to Antoine, very tragically, very unluckily, is the first crumple zone on one side was hit. Then he was hit on the other side, so that crumple zone went down. And because he was spinning, the crumple zone which had been hit first got hit again. And obviously that crumple zone's already been taken out. So, really, there wasn't anything that could have been done safety-wise in terms of a car to prevent that, from what I could say as an amateur, I guess. You know, it was so fucking unlucky. And some people are like, oh, Rouge is too fast, or Rouge is too dangerous. You need to change this, you need to change that about the track. Um, I don't know. You know, we don't want to like completely remove fast areas of racing. If it's deemed that it is too dangerous and they do need to make some track modifications, they do it. But this was just a tragically unlucky accident. Now, why this is relevant to Leclerc is Leclerc was good friends with Antoine, as was Gasly and I think Ocon. They all did karting together, they did F2 together, I think. Some of them. You know, they all knew each other. And they were friends. And it was just sad. But on race day, it was like Antoine's spirit was with Leclerc that day. Because Leclerc put all of that grief into bashing out a fucking monumental performance on the track. And he won it. He won it for Antoine. And you could tell he couldn't fully enjoy the win because of the tragedy, but he dedicated the win to his friend, and it was just so sad, man. But it was also like really touching. It's like, god damn. And that's kind of like one thing I take in mind with certain drivers. You can tell a lot about a driver and like who they are as a person on how they check on other drivers, how they behave around other drivers, that kind of thing. Pace at the end, literally. Yeah. Reminds me that Cybertruck doesn't have any crumple zones the first time he got into a car crash, only the driver of the Cybertruck was injured. I remember that. It was like, it wasn't even long after it had been out, and the Cybertruck isn't allowed in the UK anyway, I don't think. So, I'm never gonna see one on the goddamn streets. I think one person saw one in London and it was like there illegally anywhere, so it was kind of like, eh. And it just looks ugly anyway. But yeah, it was like, what was it, like an old Toyota or something? And that was totaled. It was like an old Toyota or an old Ford. And that was totaled, but the driver walked away absolutely fine because crumple zones did their job. Cybertruck, all of that momentum went to the driver. The Cybertruck's designed to protect the car, not the driver. So it's like, fucking hell. I know, someone who's been in an accident, I'm going to prioritize a car which is actually going to, like, protect me. I'm in Florida and those shits are everywhere. I've seen them in all sorts of colours and colours. The worst part is the Cybertruck starts rusting as soon as it went out. The panels are glued together instead of welded. Weren't a load of them recalled because of that? Like, there was a problem with things being glued down, and then, what was it? Was it the accelerator pedal would get stuck, or the brake would get stuck? And it was just deadly dangerous. Wrong thing. Eraser. But yeah, I like Charles because he's a goddamn down-to-earth person who cares about others. And I'm like, yeah, he's a great, great young man. Like, he has silly moments sometimes. He makes silly mistakes sometimes. But he's a good person. The panels are definitely glued, but the rusting thing was due to people buying it in one part of the States and driving another. We have what we call the Rust Belt here in the US. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. I think Charles is going to be one who either wins the championship very soon, or is one of these really unlucky people who have the potential but just keep missing out. Because he's definitely a talented driver. He just has the worst luck. Like, he had the same curse as Ayrton Senna in terms of winning in his hometown, his own home country, for years. Um, I really do hope he wins one. You know, I think he deserves one, and he has that mentality of a humble champion, you know? Honestly, all this last yapping is reminding me of the Isle of Man TT, specifically of John Hines. I have heard a little bit about the Isle of Man TT. A lot of people die, like, every year, near enough. Or, like, every other year, if not. It's really dangerous, isn't it? But people still do it, and, you know, if you know the... It's kind of like the old F1 mentality. It was kind of like, if you know the risks... But it is, you know, sad. A lot of people from down south buy cheap trucks from up north, but, like, those trucks and carriers don't get the same treatment as trucks meant for the south or coastal areas. I get that. That makes sense. I did that correctly, yeah. Like, in the UK, we don't have that much of a, difference in weather. It's always just wet, grey, bleak. Except this year where it got to, like, the one of the stupidestly hottest summers ever, and I don't like when it's hot. I'm gonna be honest, I hate the heat. Like, a solid 20 degrees is hot enough for me. And I grew up in the north of England, where 15 degrees was ice cream and barbecue weather. Didn't matter if it was raining. Didn't matter if it was gale force wind. That's ice cream and barbecue weather. Eh. Hold on. I see there's a chat, but I'm trying to get this one goddamn line right. There we go. John Hines was the guy that drove with them as an ambulance on a bike. Died back in 2015, and we got an air ambulance in his honor. Guy saved a lot of people how quickly he was able to help them after crashes. They named the air ambulance after his call sign Delta 7. What an ode. That is so fucking cool, though. You know, absolute respect to the guy as well. Huge respect. For real. I completely lost my train of thought on where I was in my little F1 storytelling. um, da, da, da. Also, Delta 7's a cool-ass call sign. Let's be real. Delta 7, requesting for landing. The Cybertruck threw me off. I mean, it's fair, though. The Cybertruck, like, just in general, it looks fucking ugly. Like, I'm sorry, it just looks... Like, okay, off topic, but I think most electric cars look fucking ugly. They're so fucking fugly. And I feel like if there was more technology around to support them, and it wasn't using, again, finite resources like lithium, it would be more viable. But it's just switching one problem for another in the near future. And that's not even getting into the ethics with how they're actually getting the lithium, but we're not here to rant about all that kind of crap. We're just here to say the Cybertruck looks fucking ugly, and it's not going to solve problems. Maybe it came out in the 70s as a future concept of a car. It looks like that, but it's like the worst kind, you know? Like, if you watch, like Back to the Future and stuff, at least their cars, like, had a little bit of a cooler concept. But most electric cars look so... I don't know, they look like bubble butts. And I don't like bubble butt cars. They just look ugly to me. I guess it's because I'm used to like F1 cars and SUVs and shit like that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of bubble butt cars. Man, I'm flying today. I'm usually so fucking slow with lineup, but I feel like I'm doing alright today. I might fix that hand up a bit. It looks a little bit uh it's a little bit better. Seriously though. um okay, but yeah, so 2019 was also a Lewis win. And very happy with that. Yes. I'm gonna edit this a bit more. Hold on, I gotta lock in to just make sure I don't mess up all of this. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, Captain Falcon Law, but can't wait till have anti-gravity racing like in that show. Yeah. Be very interesting. Very interesting for sure. Trauma kit for my bike, for looking at a trauma kit for a while, but goddamn they're expensive. Yeah. The main thing is though, is like, what's more expensive, the kit or your life? So I'd just say put money aside to get it. I don't want nothing happening to you, Sam. Anyway, so Charles really late shine in 2019, showing his potential, especially like his first time at Ferrari. He got his second win the week after Antoine's death and his first win. So it was nice for him to actually be able to celebrate a win without the grief too heavy on him compared to the weekend before. But ultimately, Lewis won the championship again. And then 2020 comes around, and this is when we are coming up to him potentially becoming a 7-time world champion. And I remember people being mad. Like, no one wanted him to beat Schumacher's record. And I'm like, I understand people, like, not wanting change or, like, being like, well, you know, a little bit upset because obviously at that point Schumacher was in the hospital and his condition unclear because of his accident. But people getting mad, and then some people, of course, being racist and shit, because, of course, someone has to bring in race into this, and it's like, it's motorsports, and records are there to be broken. It happens. And I was just like, you know what, I hope he does it. I hope he does it, and it pisses everyone off, and I hope he does it. I don't need to, like, go too much into it, because we all know what happens. Lewis Hamilton becomes a 7-time world champion, and he gets a knighthood from the Queen. I'm not religious, but God bless the Queen. She was still alive then, and honestly, like, I loved the fucking Queen. She was a fucking icon. But anyway, people swearing it was rigged, but like, how? Yeah, exactly. It's like, sometimes shit has been rigged in F1, like Crashgate. That was crazy. Obviously, I was still a kid, so I didn't understand what happened then, but that was crazy. But Lewis has always played by the rules, always played by the book. We're gonna get to 2021 in a minute because that shit was rigged, but anyway. 2020 was also when. It was 2020, wasn't it? 2020 was when we had one of the worst fucking accidents I've ever seen, and I remember watching that live and I was just like, what the fuck? And my heart sunk because I was like, it's only just been a year since Antoine's death in F2, and now I was like adamant we had another dead driver. And this was Romain Grosjean in Bahrain, where his car became a fireball and split in fucking two. And that's the kind of shit you'd see in old F1 crashes, not modern. Like, those cars are made out of, like, carbon fiber and titanium and shit. Those cars do not split in half compared to the aluminium chassis they used to have. So, for that agonizing amount of time where we didn't see him leave the car, like, get out, I was like, because I remember, like, them saying about, you know, there's a set amount of time that a driver has to escape a car in the event of a fire. You know, they're trained for it. And I was counting down the seconds, and I'm like, he's not there. What the fuck? No, fuck me. And then you see this fucking guy come from the fucking flames like a fucking phoenix. And all he has is burnt hands and feet, and obviously that's bad. But compared to what it could have been, like, holy shit. And everyone was so relieved to see him alive, you know? He was dragged from the fucking flames, and he was okay. And, you know, his motivation for getting out that damn car, which was half impaled into the bloody barrier, was his bloody kids. And I'm just like, oh, that's so fucking sweet. And I don't know how old his kids are, but, like, one day, if his kids are young, one day his kids are gonna see that accident and be like, oh my god, Dad, you got out of that. You know. I take burnt hands and feet over dying. Oh, 100%. 2020 had a few crashes too, like, more than previous and recent years, and for him to survive such a gnarly crash, it's such a monument to how far F1 safety has come. Exactly. There was another one. I think it was the year after, or it was 2 years after. I didn't see this one. I hadn't been watching F1 as much for a little bit after the 2021 season, so I think it was 2022 or so. But I'll get to that in a bit. I'll get to that in a bit. Other than Lewis winning his championship, I was like, I love some of the other driver interactions. Like, I like Leclerc. I like Lando and Checo. And Lando and Ricciardo. Like, I wish Ricciardo got a championship. Again, it's like some drivers, like, have the potential for championships. But, life doesn't throw them a bone kind of thing. But yeah, so I liked quite a few of the new drivers. And in the past, I didn't have an issue with... Now, we're going to get onto it now. I didn't have an issue with Max Verstappen. He was a young driver, and he had some wins, and, like, he was... You know, a bit of a cocky little shit. But he wasn't being a dick right away. Or, like, it wasn't, like, that prolific. I was like, okay, I can tolerate this guy, you know? Being that young and winning, you know, is an achievement. We get to 2021, and all my feelings towards this guy fucking changes. I mean, it was starting to, like, the cracks were appearing beforehand, but oh my god. Even now, I can't say I'm a Max Verstappen fan, to the point where one of my friends trolls me and sends me, Max Verstappen fucking pictures in my DMs to jump scare me. I don't know if you've seen the image, but it's where he, like, looks like he's about to chase you down a dark fucking alley. And he turned up the contrast on the image and just made it, like, cursed, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, let's get to the point of why. Now again, I don't want to, like, be disrespectful to anyone. So, you know. This is just my personal opinion. And the end of the day, I don't wish unwell on anyone when I learn how to speak. And, you know, I do think with more time, Verstappen will mature like Vettel did. But at the moment, he's just a fucking insufferable, whiny, bratty dick. Like, he's just disrespectful to, like, so many people. Like, and that just brings us to 2021. And I'm not gonna say Lewis had a completely clean season, because, you know, race incidents happen all the time, especially when a season is that intense. So, you know, Lewis wasn't squeaky clean. Did I do the thing? Yes, I did. And I'm not gonna ever say, like, you know, Lewis never did anything wrong. You know, he did cause some of the incidents. It happens. But there's one in particular which really fucking irks me. So, first of all, this is another Halo fucking saves everyone kind of ordeal. But Verstappen and Lewis came to blows. I can't remember the track. I feel like it was Montreal or something. And Verstappen's car ends up on top of Lewis's, inches from his head. So, you know, the Halo's doing its job, making sure we don't lose a 7-time world champion right there and then. But Verstappen over the radio was like, good, that's what you deserve for getting that close. I'm like, what the fuck? That is not... Like, and he walked off. He didn't check on Lewis or anything. He walked off. And I'm like, that is so unsportsmanship. Like, only, like, 2 years after Antoine passed, and not even a year, like, maybe a year after Grosjean's incident, and you're gonna behave like that? No. And that's always, like, stuck with me, really, just his behaviour with that. All the teams are looking for younger and younger drivers just to clout, and I'm so sure for weight reduction too. Yeah, probably. Look for some local trauma kits, but I might just go with the Tremado. It's one of the more high quality kits. And I could throw a second tourniquet for £25, but shipping will be a bitch since it's an American-based company. Yeah, that's the main problem, really. But yeah. Because of, like, that, I didn't like Verstappen. Not all. And other things, just in general. And, you know, I don't mind if you like him, you know. If you're a fan of him, you're a fan of him. I'm not gonna, like, come to blows with you. Like, some people get pissed off if you're a fan of X driver or Y driver. Like, why do you support them? I don't care who you support, just, you know, I'm here to have fun watching the race. Me. But the final race of the 2021 season, every single person who wasn't a diehard Max fan said that shit was fucked up. And that was when the FIA decided to break their own rules by bringing in the safety car before everyone had unlapped. So there was traffic in the way of Lewis still. But Max had clean air. And the championship was being decided in that race. And Max got the overtake in, like, the last or second to last lap or so, Phil. And I'm just like... Like, I was out for a meal with my mum and dad. And my dad, like, saw it and he was just like, that's ridiculous. And I'm like, oh god, what? And he's like, Max won the championship. And I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? I wanted Lewis to win number 8, you know? And he's just like, like, my dad was annoyed. And I saw it, and I was annoyed, and I was just like, every other team in the paddock as well, except for Red Bull, said that shit was fucked up. But nothing came of it in terms of, like, you know, there wasn't any changes to the standings or the championship or anything like that, so it's just a robbery, really. Over there in Britain, you guys use more trail and enduro bikes over sports bikes. So Sam's actually not in the UK, but as the resident Briton, that was cringe. As the resident goofier Brit here, usually use mountain bikes, really. Like, some people use BMXs and sports bikes, but, like, it's usually, like, the chavs and people trying to show off. Most of the time, if you're trying to get around, you're going to be using, like, a mountain bike, so you can go through, like, more rural, suburban trails and stuff than just on the streets. Like, I learned to ride on a mountain bike. I used to drive a Pioneer. Starting and pray the works only work on the thing. Jesus. But yeah, the stopping this is like 50 meters on a good day. Oh damn. But yeah, it was after the 2021 championship where that shit was all rigged and they didn't change anything about it, where I just kind of stopped watching F1 as much for a while. Like, I'd occasionally catch the race highlights, or when I started my current job in 2022 and figured out one of my coworkers also likes F1, occasionally, like, discussed things with them. Hello, Coffee Yum. Welcome in. But, yeah, it was kind of like after that where I had, like, this dry stint with F1, especially because I know this is petty and it goes against everything I've said, but I didn't like that Max was winning another championship and another one again. Mainly just because, though, of how the 2021 championship ended and how F1 just started feeling more and more like they were trying to make it a drama show than an actual, about racing thing. Is this not black? Oh, wow. I did not actually use black. I'll have to fix that later. Living in a world with LN1. Though Dad is big on riding and has me on a 06 GS XR 750 when I was like 14, 16. But kind of got overridden by the time I hit my 20s. That's fair. I've always wanted to try motorbikeing and riding, like, more advanced shit. At the moment, I can't. Like, I've intended to learn to drive just like a normal car recently, but due to health reasons, I've not been able to yet. That's when F1 started dropping views too. Yeah, I'm not surprised, because even people who weren't Lewis fans, unless they were, like, super diehard Max fans, said that shit was unjust. Like, it wasn't a thing of, like, Max and Lewis at that point, it was a fact on the principle that the FIA didn't follow its own rules and rigged the championship. Do you mind if I ask some questions? It's something I do when finding artists. Go for it. Feel free to ask. You can also check out where is my fucking stream. You can also check out my VGen, because I have a lot of my terms of service on there, different things I offer. So feel free to look there, if you'd like to as well. How would you describe your art style? It's more cartoonish at the moment. Not super realistic, but I do like to, try go outside the box, try and do things like, I did an art piece recently as a gift to my friend who's got a new Eldritch Horror style, so I like to try and break out the box. But at the moment, my art style is in the more cartoony style. I also do chibis here and there. And as you can see on the screen, I'm working on a emote. Anything YCH, I use a base for, give full credit to the artist who made the base, ensure I have full permission to use it for commissions and so on. But one day I hope to go into a more anime style of art, and something a little bit more, not realistic, but, you know, more, I guess, you know, the typical anime video game graphic style. That's where I want to get to later on in the future. But at the moment, I'm just honing what I can do now. And honestly, I've just kind of embraced the art style I have. The more cartoony, sorry, I'm terrible with words. But yeah, I'm trying to embrace the more cartoony style I have, rather than trying to force myself to change styles at the moment. Whee! Who inspired you to draw? Honestly, so, wow, I'm gonna go really off topic here from everyone, but, basically, in school I was always considered the nerdy kid who was going to go into, like, science and everything, but even from a younger age, I always wanted to do something more creative. I'm doing a writing project at the moment, which is something I love to do. I love my writing, but I also wanted to draw. So I would, and I don't recommend you do this if you're still in like college or anything. I would, instead of paying attention in class in like my final years of high school, I would doodle in the back of my book. And it just went from there. I had a short stint where I stopped drawing. So when I was like younger, like just starting high school, I was drawing a lot. My high school art teacher, in the UK you do art for like 2 years and then you pick options. So I had art for 2 years. The art teacher I had, wasn't very good in terms of, she, kind of crushed my motivation to draw because of how she'd pick favorites and she never helped me improve. But I started drawing again, when I hit about 15, 16 years old, made some friends who drew, and just decided to give it a go. So yeah. And now I draw, I have moments in the past where I stopped drawing and started drawing again. I got into bad art burnout and stuff because I was trying to force myself too quickly to do things. But I started getting back into drawing again when I started VTubing, and to be able to draw things for my own characters and stuff. And honestly, making new friends in the art community has really helped me keep going. So, yeah, that's the story on that. Let us go to... Let's do this bit. What tool do you use most often when drawing? Oh, sorry, use the most when drawing. So I have a drawing tablet. It's a Huion... I can't remember the model, to be honest. It's a few years old, but it's decent. I use Critter as my software, and I use this pen, so just basic size 5. And I have pressure sensitivity on. And then occasionally I will use this tool here, the basic blender, to blend out things like the eye details and so on. But yeah, some artists use other platforms which you can download pens for and such, and brushes. You might be able to for Critter, I'm not too sure, but I've found this one with help from a friend, and it's what I'm most comfortable with. So this is the one I use majority of the time. Especially when sketching, because it's really good to get, like, hair details in and stuff. If you could give your younger self an advice on drawing, what would you say? Oh, that's a good one. I would say just because they're an adult doesn't mean they can decide. Hold on, let me read it. Just because they're an art teacher doesn't mean you should listen to them and be deterred from art. The more you practice now, despite what they say, the better you'll feel in the future when you do come to do it more. And yeah, it's mainly just don't let shitty art teachers deter me from doing something which I genuinely enjoyed for years. Because I did stop for, I'd like to say, about 3 years before I started again. And I haven't streamed it, but I do traditional art as well. And I do love to just pick up a pencil. Sometimes. True art is literally subjective. What's natural to the spider is different to the fly or whatever. Yeah, exactly. The problem with school, it's like they put you against each other, and then an art teacher will just pick their favourite based on their own preference or so. And because I was the nerdy kid who was doing well in other subjects, it was kind of like, oh, why are you doing art? Like, you should be focusing on science and stuff. And I have no problem against science. I love science. But let a girl try something else, you know? Let me get nurtured with the creative arts. You know? Because I never gave up on writing, and I had an English teacher who saw my potential in writing, even though I was going down a path of science in terms of career. And the same could be said about the media studies teacher I had. Both of them said I had great potential. And my English teacher, well, the thing is, with my English teacher, she never directly said it to me that you have, you know, you're, like, you know, really, 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 really fucking good. I've had loads of teachers before me say that. What she did was a little different, because she pushed me. Every creative writing session, she pushed me. She kept me pushing harder and harder for the top grade. And if you don't know, in the UK, the grading system's a bit weird. And my year was the first one to have this weird grading system where things were graded by numbers. And I wanted a grade 9. And I kept getting grade 8s. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So it motivated me to do what I was doing more. Take that feedback and really apply it. And a grade 9's not an easy feat to get, in the sense that it's considered the top 2% of the entire country in grade. But come to exam results day, and I've nailed a 9 in English language and a 9 in English literature. And I think if I hadn't been pushed as much, maybe I wouldn't have gotten it. Maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't have. I don't want to speculate. But I want to, like, appreciate how she saw, I guess, a potential in me and decided, instead of just, you know, saying you're doing really good, she pushed me. She pushed me harder than any teacher did in terms of my English, in terms of my writing. And I'd like to think I'm a really good writer today because of that. And I consider writing something that I have so much confidence in because of things like that. Like, writing's one of the few things I have genuine confidence in. I'm not, like, a super confident person. I'm an introvert. I like to not be around people in person as much unless like I really know them or have to because of like, you know, work and stuff. And I want to one day get to that point with my art as well. I want to get to that confidence level with my art as well. And you know, I'm getting a little bit there. It's a little bit hard sometimes because of, well, it's hard to get reach on things like social media. And getting commissions isn't always easy. But getting verified on VGen, getting praised by artists I've followed for years and now they're friends of mine, you know? That shit matters, you know? It makes a difference. And kind of helps me start building that confidence. Helps me build that, actually, hey, I could do this. Literally what they do, yo. I'm the same with my writing teacher. She made me go from a 3 to a 5, 5 with highest score at the time. It's both motivating and satisfying for real. I'm trying to decide if it should be like this or this. What are we thinking? Let me do this version. Let me do this. What part do you find most difficult, still struggling with art in terms of proportions, whatever? I will admit, I'm not 100% with anatomy sometimes. It's why, I still practice on basis sometimes in private. I have done the occasional full body commission, but it's not something that I'm 100% in, and I'll admit that. But it's something I'm still working on and still striving towards. And when I'm not busy with work, because I'm a healthcare worker, so I work full-time in healthcare, so it's not an easy job in that sense, you know? I don't always have the time to practice, but when I do practice, I make sure I, you know, put a lot of effort into, where are my words? Put a lot of effort into, you know, trying to improve myself. There's my words. I found my words, guys. Don't worry about it. The little frown, he's so cute, he's so sad. I like the second one because she has a little more limbs. Wait, which was the second one? Hold on. Which drawings you feel the most proud of? Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let me look at my portfolio real quick. Okay, let's have a look, let's have a look, let's have a look. Let's have a look at my portfolio real quick. That's the wrong thing. I need to go to my profile. See, there's a few. So, let me get them up on the screen. Where's my OBS? I'm such a scuff. I'm so sorry. Okay, so, that is a good question, for real. So, I'd say, in terms of design, because I like to do character designs as well, I'm really proud of this one. Now, she's not available at the moment. Well, sorry, she is available at the moment. She doesn't have a home at the moment. I'm really proud of this one. I'm also proud of, it's not in the portfolio yet, but I'm really proud of this one. This I took so long to do. Such a cool design, I feel like I did. So I'm really proud of it. In terms of technique, I'm really proud of this recent one I did for Fi. And the background as well. I'm also proud of this one. I feel like it has a good overall cohesion. And it all fits together well. And I've played with new brushes to get the moss effect in the hair and stuff, and the leafage, so I was really happy with that. And finally, I'm really proud of these two Reaper beams in terms of the actual effects. You can see like the glowing effect with the arm here, and in the eye, and then the detail on the wings. So I can't put it down to one thing. Even now, I'm really proud of these emotes I did. Like, in terms of, like, feedback as well, this emote specifically, this emote set, the client was super, super sweet, and it really helped boost my confidence, because I hadn't drawn robots as such, so I was really proud to get this out, and them having such a sweet reaction for it as well. Proud of everything she's made, that's a good thing. There's things which I would want to improve on. Like, some of my older stuff I want to improve on. But I think it's important to be proud of the things you do and support yourself, because if you don't support yourself, who is? I like a good opacity and closer ladies, definitely went ham. Yeah, I do my best. I do my best to, like, put in as much as I can. And lately, you know, doing new emote stuff, it's been really, really fun to try. I want to ask more questions, but I'm getting sleepy. No worries, you take care. Oh, it's 5:30 a.m. Oh my goodness! That's so late! Pleasure! Oh yeah, yo, I'm not allowed to sing this song because I get copyright striked. Well, I didn't get striked, but I got flagged. It's like, that's my voice. I don't know, man. YouTube's funny. Asia, oh, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, I need to very quickly. Oh my goodness. Ah! Coffee, thank you for the follow. I've been blessed by followers this session. Like, oh my god, you guys are so sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With a smile, if the world was ending, I wanna be next to you. I'm honestly surprised she not spoke the word for the past couple of streams. Now, well, I don't know what the fucking word is. What are we thinking? We're thinking this one, or... Oh, the full of it. No! I feel like... Does this one make more sense? I feel like this one makes more sense, right? We're fighting for... Follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow. I will love you every night. It's the last night. Like it's the last night. The world was ending. I wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through. Hair over the eyes, yo. And I, with a smile, Womp, hello, Ryo! We need to play Helldivers 2 again? We do. They did the, crazy thing though, didn't they, recently? They, changed the size of the files to, like, what, 28 gigs? From, like, 150? I know it's beta testing still, but I might opt in. It might make it run smoother on stream as well. Because if it's that small, they've obviously optimized it. At least in some capacity. $150 to $23, yeah, that's crazy. Hair over eyes makes more sense, but hair over eyes is more cartoony, it's tough for sure. Yeah, I think as long as I make sure the colour's right to distinguish this is the eyes. Maybe add a little blurring effect on the edges for the tears. Slim is meant to be used on an SSD. Well, that makes sense. I got SSD anyway, so that works. I'm just gonna move this one over. Ooh. To you. So big normally, so HDD wouldn't take too long to load. Oh, but like everyone games with SSD nowadays. Like Helldivers is too like chunky to play on HDD, I'd think, because like I'm already streaming it. But they've got their explanations, and at least we've got some explanations now as well, and some options. Ah well. I was meant to be talking about F1, and now we've gone so off track. I can't remember where I was. Must oppose decided not to have integrity today. What does that mean? Is that meant to be Mister? Hour of my day wasted? Oh damn, that's annoying. What colour did I make the line up for the sketch? I did blue. Well, let's be consistent. Oh, I don't want basic. Weighted. Cool. Person who takes attendance for your class. Oh, damn. Last I remember, you were talking about Max. Yes, So yeah, I just think he's too arrogant and doesn't have the, respect for other drivers, and like, you know, if there's a crash, you should check on someone. Especially if you've landed on their fucking head. And, you know, yeah, it's petty of me to, like, not want him to win more championships and being like, oh, I'm not gonna watch if he's winning. But, like, it's mainly a principle thing. It really was. And, you know, F1 was starting to lose views because of the whole issue with what they did. smurfiiee. Oh no, reverse emote. Gotta make sure we save, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the kind of person who might fuck up, not save, and close it down, and then be like, oh shit, I didn't save. Wow. Alone, this is the one thing that I coughed my lungs out, huh? I love the timing of the app just crashing right before I save. Ugh. Okay. Frame goes in. Oh, I hate doing stars. Yeah. Yeah. Wow! Thank you, dragon! I forgot the burb was here. Is the burb still here? Oh no, outbreak. Wah. Sorry. Probably just lurking. What bird? As you say, she's lurking. I didn't put in the chin.
Cheese.
Thank you for the cheese, Royal. Maybe I need to move the eye highlight so it's not. Oh my god.
Cheese.
Another cheese. Immune to uppercuts.
Cheese.
Jesus Christ, dragon.
Cheese.
And again. Just gotta get this looking right. Mouth is throwing me off a bit. Let's redo that. The cheese, I have like 300 points. It's like a redeem a pearl. Oh my god. Maybe this should be a bit further up. Let's give this a little bit of a... I've almost enough for 2 pairs. Should save Ara Ara. Fuck's sake. It's throwing me off. Something's just not right about this sketch. Hold on. Eh? 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 Plan to use it during a big raid once I have enough. Oh my god. I think we need to move the head down. Let's do that. And then it's gonna be difficult to work out. Okay, so I'm gonna keep everything else where it is. It's not quite there yet. It's looking a bit better, but it's now the jaw. Let's do a little bit of adjust. A little bit higher. You can tell that she's locked in. Yeah, I just had to lock in a second. Okay. I can't help but go a little bit quiet when I lock in. Absolutely locked in. I'm like hunched over. I should probably like not shrimp, but And now we just need to get my posture. Banana shape back. Absolutely zero yap. Okay. I get it. We're just sketching this really roughly so we just know. Meow, meow, meow. Okay. Let's give all these a little save. Marionette posture shrimp. Okay. Give me 1 second whilst I send these to Smurfie. Oh my god, pen, get out of the way. There we go. A little save is a must every now and then. Yes! Let me just... Worst crash out I had was during a power outage that I didn't save after 2 hours. Oh, damn. It's so valid, though. This is why I save, like, sometimes excessively. Absolutely tweaking. Da, 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 da. Oh, give me a second to stretch. Oh, my God. Da, da, da. I'm just gonna start adding a little bit of color. Whilst we wait for feedback, it's not gonna be too much of a detriment if I have to adjust slightly from a bit of flat color. Let me quickly add a basic ass grey background just to... There we go. I'll make it a bit lighter so you guys can see a bit better. Trolled Beast, good day. Do it again. What did you do to troll him? Can't wait for the day we hear you're back actually pop. Yes, I'm calling you all. Fuck off, Sam. Check my profile? Oh, days. What did you do? I need to make sure I don't... You're eating drywall! Oh my God. The crow is also old, just not as old. That's crazy. Gets better if you click the watch button. I'm live! Hold on. Because if I click the watch button, I'll end up in VC. Your face is gonna get plastered on the screen. Okay, hold on. Let me deafen. Oh, you fucker! How did you do that? You fucker! You dick! You bitch! Guys, do you wanna know what he did? His profile doesn't link to him streaming a game. It links to fucking Rick Astley. You motherfucker. You should play the double ad on YouTube. For real. Crazy shit. Oh, you a bitch, Royal. Oh, man. Goodness gracious. 2 years ago. Well, I'm not easily fooled. Seems everyone forgot. Yep, well, a lot's happened in 2 years. Ah! Oh my goodness! Hello! Hi! Ah! Hello, love the kiwi! Thank you so much for the raid. Hold on. Where's the button? I can't type. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing? Welcome in, readers. My words have stopped wording. My name is Lucy Valentine. I'm your resident scuff witch. We are currently doing some commission work for one of my lovely new clients, smurfiiee. How are you doing? How was your stream? What were you up to? This is a lovely surprise. Kiwi Reed sending love to you all, you beautiful gem. That is so sweet. That's such a sweet raid message. Aww. Also, if you need to lurk and dip, if you need to BRB, get some get something to eat, get something to drink. If you need to sleep, if it's late for you, please feel free to do whatever you need to do. Stream was good with the comes to amazing! Amazing! I love that. I love that. Nego. It's such a cute character. It's such a pretty character. And I love the design with like the blade and stuff. It's such a cool thing. Yes, I'm a little fox. I thought you were talking about the commission for a second. I'm a little fox. I don't know what I'm a Yappuccino. I gotta go get ready. Glad I found a stream talking F1 for super gnarly. Hope to catch the next one. Amazing! Thank you so much, Deadly Sheep. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for the follow, love the kiwi. Hold on, let me repay the favor. And I'll check out your art at some point too. Kiwi corrected me. I don't know what's going on, okay? There's the reason I'm called a scuff witch. This is the reason. I'm Scuff the 2nd, and 3rd, and 5th, and 7th, and 9th, and 11th, and 12th. My boy is a cat girl. What happened to the 4th? They got eaten by the 5th, and the 7th, and the 9th. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. What happened? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Whee! Color. I love putting in flat color because especially in like certain pieces, it's just so smooth at doing it. It's not like loads of tiny little bits that need putting in. It's just too much stuff had to be put down. Crazy. Where is the scuff shelter? Did I miss a bit? Or is that just... No, I didn't. I do have some other things I need to attend to, so I'll be looking. Hope you have a wonderful stream. No problem. Thank you so much for raiding. You take care of yourself. Make sure you get something to drink. And look after yourself. And raiders, if you want to stick around, feel free to do so. Feel free to lurk. Feel free to torment me with whatever you'd like. Everyone else does, so don't worry. And yeah, thank you so much once again. $15 viewers and a crow. Sam, I think Avery could take you in a fight, so you should probably, like, cool the fighting words. You know, crows, are very intelligent, and they will, like, literally organize to go after someone if they're mean to them. All she could do is bite my ankles, hell nah. Yeah, but if you get too many crows dive bombing your ass, you are cooked. You're not seeing, like, the experiments and stuff and, like, the stories. Befriend a crow and you got a friend for life who might even somehow find money and trinkets and gems for you and shit. Be mean to a crow and you are, going to be, not having a good time. You can trade crows to steal money, exactly. Exactly. I'm trying to decide where best to swatch the eyes from. Let's go intermediate. Amy's gonna steal money from Sam. That's crazy. Some guy accidentally got crows to bring him money because whenever they brought cash, he give him high quality treats. Exactly. Crows be very smart. Abracadabra, abracadabra. The girls in the crowd. Everybody understands that the devil does around. That's not the right color. Around tonight in the magic of the dark moonlight. Save me from this empty light. In the game of life, like a promise by a lady in red, you will last few words of your life. On to dance and you hope in the trance. Abracadabra, abra, una, na, aja, uchana, alta, uga, aga. Abracadabra, abra, una, na, in the dark she said, never love tonight. Abracadabra. Crow's a smart ABC exception, goddamn. You are bullying Avery today, huh? When you actually gonna go live? They got to do their finals and stuff. No return. Hello, Mogo. Mogo. Hello. Hello, lovely. Mwah, mwah, mwah. It's fell on the night. Hi, my love. How are you? Look, I'm doing emotes. Look at me. It's just crazy how much I've grown in art in like this past year. And we beat the floors on fire. Of the night, to me. You're doing so good. I'm proud of you. Oh, thank you. I'm proud of you too. We need to get the clothes colors. Give me that. Oh, okay, so things are different colors. So the sleeves are lighter. Got it. So start with this and this. Sure that bit's done. And then we need to do a little bit here. So it's gonna be back here. And then la 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 There we go. Let's do a like classic pencil, right? So we need red. Hold on. I guess it's more pinkish. There we go. That works. And then silver. No, it needs to be more. There we go. That's a classic pencil. Ooh. Eh. And then this goes like that, and then we need a like a skin color almost. It's a bit more like there. Like that. There we go. That looks like a pencil! Oh my god! Okay, anyway. Calm down. You drew a pencil. Good job. You know, claps all around. Da 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 da. I'm such a div. Okay, quick drink break. Oh my god. I completely forgot to say. Y'all, this is big, right? Now, it needs to get set up. I need to figure out how to do it. But, let's get a pencil! I've got something exciting that's gonna happen, in the future. Once I figure out how to set it up, once I figure out how to do it on stream, I'll be able to do VR streams. My hubby, the hubby, he showed me my Christmas present early, and he got me a VR headset, which we've both been wanting for ages, and I'm just like, you fucking bitch! I don't know how to top him at all for Christmas now. The bitch. And I've been wanting to play Beat Saber for so long, and I'm so excited. So yeah, we will have streams soon with VR. Just shit on top. You know, hold on. Should we ask? Should we ask? I think we should ask. Hold on. Let me message him. Let me get him in the room. Yeah, let's get him in the room. Let's see what he has to say. Like, you've got such a good idea, Moogle. Let me just give him a ping. Just give him a nudge, you know? See if he'll, emerge. What's a cardboardy colour? This? That's about cardboardy, isn't it? I usually have great ideas. You do. You do. You do indeed. Hello, my dear. Hold on, let me pause my audio. Yes. Don't look at the chat, don't cheat.
I'm not looking at the chat.
So I just told chat what you got me.
Okay.
And I was saying, I don't know how to repay you. The lovely Moogle suggested something. I just wanted to see if it would be a good idea.
Are you gonna step on me?
I guess that's your answer. The general idea was to top you, yes.
So you are gonna step on me?
Perhaps. Why would that be good enough?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Let's go.
Depends on the quality of steppies.
The quality of steppies. Fucking hell. What are you doing?
Being nosy.
You're being nosy. Okay.
How popular are you today? Are you super popular today?
I had a raid. A
You had
very,
a
very
raid?
lovely
Like
person
a
raided.
Shadow Legends one.
Oh my god. Don't be weird.
Raid. Shadow Legends. See, maybe sponsor them and you'll suddenly mess up in viewership.
Wow.
You can even have a witch character in the game.
Oh
That'd be
my
cool, wouldn't it?
days. Oh my days. I'm not about to start stream being like, this stream is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Let's go.
See, you're already doing the voice. You're doing
No,
perfect.
I'm not. I'm taking a piss.
There you go.
Right, I'm gonna shoo you out now.
Okay.
I'll give you payment later.
No, you won't.
Oh well.
No, you won't, 'cause I've got to bed in a minute.
Oh, well, I'll give you it tomorrow then.
Yeah.
So, there's your answer, Moogle. That went well. Damn. He was very easily impressed. But yeah, he has to get up at like 5 tomorrow. Sucks. Oh, man. I have music to play. Wait, do we want to sing? Do we want to sing a song? Do you guys want me to sing some up? Or should we just continue with the music as normal? I still need to plan in the karaoke, by the way, but yes, sing. Okay. Right, but what? In terms of, I've got a few which I can sing. Do you want me to sing a heavy metal song, a more emotional song, Adele, something from K-pop Demon Hunters, Die with a Smile? I think that's the main ones which I definitely know the lyrics to. Yeah, what are we feeling? K-pop Demon Hunters. Okay, I think I just found it. Please me. Please you. There's... Please. Moogle. Okay. Okay, Moogle. I will indeed do as you wish. Let me just get this set up real quick. Is that the right one? No, it's this. There's the skin. Okay. This song starts really quick. Like, I slipped up. Bless you. Let me do this. Skin. Okay. Give me throat clear. Okay. Nothing but the truth now. Nothing but the proof of what I am. The worst of what I came from, patterns I'm ashamed of, things that even I don't understand. I try to fix it, I try to fight it. My head was twisted, my heart divided, my lies all collided. I don't know why I didn't trust you to be on my side. I broke into a million pieces, and I can't go back. But now I'm seeing all the beauty in the broken glass. The scars are part of me, darkness and harmony. My voice without the lines, this is what it sounds like. Why did I cover up the colors stuck inside my head? I should've let the jagged edges meet the light instead. Show me what's underneath, I'll find your harmony. The song we couldn't write, this is what it sounds like. We're shattering the silence, we're rising, defiant, shouting the quiet. You're not alone. We listen to the demons, we let them get between us. But none of us around here on our own. Though we were cowards, so we were liars. So we're no heroes, we're still survivors. The dreamers, the fighters, no lying. I'm tired, but dive in the fire and I'll be right here by my side. Hello, still doing punk, thank you for the follow. Have a good night, Sam. We broke into a million pieces and we can't go back. But now we're seeing all the beauty in the broken glass. The scars are part of me, darkness and harmony. My voice without the lines, this is what it sounds like. Why did they cover up the colors stuck inside our head? Get up and let the jagged edges meet the light instead. Show me what's underneath, my touch is harmony. Endless and undefined, this is what it sounds like. Thank you for the hydrate. This is what it sounds like. I'm playing the original Doom. That's awesome. I haven't played the original Doom. Also, thank you so much for 410 followers. Woo! How come my voice goes so high pitched except when I'm singing? This is what it sounds like. We broke into a million pieces and we can't go back. But now we're seeing all the beauty in the broken glass. The scars are part of me, darkness and harmony. My voice without the lies, this is what it sounds like. Why did we cover up the colors stuck inside our head? Get up and let the jagged edges meet the light instead. Show me what's underneath, darkness and harmony. Fearless and undefined, this is what it sounds like. My voice without the lines, this is what it sounds like. Fearless and undefined, this is what it sounds like. Truth after all this time, our voices all combined. When darkness meets the light, this is what it sounds like. That's the eraser. I love that. Wow, thank you. When you take a test and die, does that mean you... What the fuck? Was that that's a first time chat? That's crazy. Hello. Okay, we're doing heavy metal next. I don't think I need this line. Because this is meant to be the shoulder, but the shoulder is covered. No, it'll just be called that. That's fine. Greetings, young one. Thank you for calling me young. Everyone else keeps calling me old. Call the crow old or something. They are right. They are. What is this creature you're painting? I'm doing a commission for a client, Smurfiiee. This is their OC. And they are going to stabby someone, which is very valid. I'm also about to belt out heavy metal. Gone, cast away in time. Evil lost, now evil mine. So I wrote you blind. The voices in my head suggest a less than peaceful time. While casing possibilities controlling 935. Crush the fears of yesterday. Barriers of trust will fade. I've stood in the dark, been waiting all this time. While we damn the dead, I'm trying to survive. I'm not ready to die. I got caught up on some spit. Ugh. Came to establish we're about to get stabbed. Talk about welcome. Down, watch the messes fall. Burn it down, control them all. And make them crawl. To turn these little gallery the writings on the wall. We're cast into the nothingness, their final curtain call. Crush the fears of yesterday. Barriers of trust will fade. I've stood in the dark, been waiting all this time. While we damn the dead, I'm trying to survive. I'm not ready to die. Fucking hell, that was long. I got gifted sub, maybe. I think you got one earlier a few streams ago. Thank you for the head pass and hydrate. Thank you for the cheese, Amy. Hello, May lovely. Hope you're doing well. Oh my god, my voice is like going. The pressure's on. I gotta nail this next section because the next bit's my favorite bit. Oh my god. Yes, I'm working on emotes. I got a big emote commission request, and I'm like super happy with how it's going so far. I'll flick through what I've done so far in a moment for you. But first, through the madness we find, loyalty is no match for power. Saying goodbye to your life, left to rot in your darkest hour. Prayers won't help you now, as long as you're mine. Pong, yeah, it's super fucking exciting, man. Let me make sure I don't. Bloop. Oh my god. This song is so intense on the voice, man. Crush the fears of yesterday. Barriers of no trust will fade. I've stood in the dark, been waiting all this time. While we damn the dead, I'm trying to survive. I'll control the world one person at a time. As I damn the dead, I'm trying to survive. I'm not ready to die. That felt good. That one felt good. Oh my god, my breath. Oh, fucking hell.
Cheese.
Phoenix, thank you for the cheese. I don't know if you heard that last bit. Oh my god, I fucking belted it. Thank you for the hydrate. Let me just do this line real quick. I heard you laugh. You didn't hear me hit those last fucking bits that I just fucking belted it out with the fucking heavy metal. Like, oh my god. Okay. May, this is what I got so far. I've said my stuff will be lurking. Thank you for the lurk. So I got this. I got this. Line art, line art, line art. Sketchums. Have a good stream. Thank you. I need to name my shit. Did you call me early, Lucia? I just called you now. Hold on. I'm just showing you what I got done. So let me just quickly flick through again. So did that one, did this one, and then this is line up, and this is line up, and this is line up, and this is a sketchum. I did the sketch for the first 5 over the weekend. And then I did this sketch today, line up today, line up today, line up today. Start flat color today, flat colored completed today. Cute, thank you! And I'm just like so happy. The client's really lovely. Now, like a really nice client, like responsive, kind. We had a good discussion before we got started, so there was complete transparency and everything. And I'm working to a deadline with this one. It's a while away, but I want to make sure I get as much done as soon as possible, just whilst my health isn't being too much of a dick. And I'm sure I'll be able to get it all done in time. It's 17 emotes total. I need you to whisper sweet British nothings in my ear. What the fuck? And what if I don't? Cute, thank you. I'm gonna switch to another song in a moment. Okay. Whew. New emotes. These are for a client. This is a commission. I do have plenty of emotes in my thing. I've made quite a few of them free. I've made like as many free as I could for you guys. And if you join the Discord, you can also like jumbo with a lot of emotes too. What am I doing? Right, that's it. I'm gonna find. This is another song which is really hard because of like, you know, it's Adele. You know, Adele's a fucking icon. We can do it. We can do it. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burst again. For this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt this moment. So overdue I owe them. Swept away I'm stolen. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it all. Together let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all. Together as sky fall. Adele sings it. Skyfall is where we start. 1,000 miles and poles apart. Where worlds collide and days are dark. You may have my number, you can take my name, but you'll never have my heart. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all. Together let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all. Together and sky fall. Where you go, I go. Which you see, I see. I know I'll never be me without the security of your loving arms, keeping me from harm. Put your hand in my hand and we'll stay. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all. Together let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all. Together and sky fall. Let the sky fall. We will stand tall and sky fall. my fucking lungs. Shut up a second. Oh my god, my lungs. Oh. My lungs are just like. Right. Back to it. Back to our normal scheduled interlude. So I hope you guys did not mind the interlude of just belting out my fucking voice. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. That's not how you spell hair. Boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. Okay. Are you ready? 2025, let's go. Okay. What color are we gonna make the table? Okay. Always listen to the story of God of thee. She got all the freedom. She is from legend. Dreaming of splendid adventure. A prophecy manifest. Will I be a maiden who is blessed? Glory path. Irises. Turning back this time. We rise. Be placed on my head. One day we shall cheer and dance. Okay, got another one done. Customer walked up and I couldn't make my asshole joke. Damn. Well, big town is high tide to turn it around. Sam, I swear, colludes with one of my other friends just to torment me with Twingo. He's in bed now, I think, but I just saw his fucking DM and it was Twingo stuff. I'm like, bruh. Valentine's. Hi, Drowsy. Hi. How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Blindfolded me, wrap me in lights like ocean's red. I'm still like God, in the homes. Those dark walls. I'm good. How are you? I'm good, thank you. I completely blanked what I said. I'm good. Yeah, I'm just gonna restart. I'm good, thank you. I had a little bit of I had a bit of a flub with health stuff today, like because of my shift last night. Work kind of like screwed me over, so I've been not too amazing on the health front, but well enough to you know, at least rest today and stream this evening and work on my commissions. And I'm just like super happy that I got this commission as well. Like I feel so like, you know, what would be the right word? Privileged, I guess. Like I'm so happy and grateful and thankful that I got considered for this, and I really want to make the client happy, and they seem super fucking sweet. So I'm working on that today. That's good, yeah. And I might have an interview for another job tomorrow. If it goes well, thank you. If it goes well, then I am getting the hell out of my current job, which is not a good place. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. At very least, if I try and it, you know, I know that I've tried my best. I know that I'm doing everything I can. So, I get that. Yeah, basically, like, the reason I'm not too well today is because of my job and because of their mismanagement with certain people who work there as well. Like, people's been saying complaints about one individual for a long time, and it got to the point where yesterday they basically sabotaged me. And all that stress and all the additional times I had to stay stood up for long periods of time. Because I have issues with my heart at the moment, which they think could be POTS. I had a really, like, bad cardiac episode. Like, I almost collapsed at work. And then I got home and then I woke up this morning and I was like, I can't get out of bed. I'm not going to work. I'm not risking it. I don't want to collapse at work and end up in the A&E for, like, the 15th fucking time this year. Understand. Nice to meet you. But yeah. We think about the positives. People are cruel, but I hope your heart is okay. Thank you. I mean, I had some tests yesterday before my shift, and I did a 12-hour shift yesterday as well, so that's also like, you know, you do a 12-hour shift only to get set up and sabotaged by someone who is both nasty and incompetent. It's like, what can you do, really? But in one hand, it's good news that most of my tests are coming up normal, but it's also like, what is actually wrong with me? Because obviously, these fainting episodes and all this, which is causing me issues, aren't going away. No. But I was able to speak to the secretary of my consultant, and they've agreed to consider booking me in for a tilt table test. And a tilt table test is like, I guess you'd consider it a gold standard diagnostic tool for POTS. Like, it's a very good indicator of POTS. So hopefully they get that scheduled in relatively quickly, and I don't have to wait months and months for it. Now, the bad news about POTS is it's like, there's no cure, like half of the shit I have. But there is treatments and there's ways to like make it a little bit better. Asked any family of any issues on their side, because families like illnesses can skip gens for another gen. Well, there is a heart murmur in my family, but they did an echo yesterday, and they've done multiple listenings to my heart, and I don't have the murmur that my mum and sister have. Other than that, the only other cardiac event to happen in my family was with my uncle, but he's not a blood uncle. He married my auntie, who's my blood relative, so I don't have his genetics, but he had a quadruple heart bypass. Now, if we were blood related, obviously that would be a biggie. But because we aren't blood relatives, it's not relevant to bring up. But genuinely, like, there's not too much in a ways of, like, family history that I know of, because it's a little bit complicated with my mum's side of the family, and now my nana passed earlier in the year. My dad's side, not too much, really. Eyelashes. But yeah, I've not got, the only thing which I have for certain, which I know was like genetic through my family line, is asthma as a child. It's been dormant since I was like 17, 18. And like hay fever and allergies and eczema and stuff like that. Nothing really stands out family line wise. It's weird. But this happens, you know? Things like POTS can happen to anyone, and it typically happens either slow build up or randomly, and whilst you could be at high risk of getting it, it can literally just hit anyone at any time. Like, it's just one of those illnesses which just can fucking appear and give you a good old fun time of mess. I know I have to get checked for breast cancer with my grandma. And mom had it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's like my hubs has to get genetic testing soon because there seems to be a trend of his family line getting cancers in like the colon and testings and stuff. So he has to get genetic testing soon just to see if it's at risk, really. But at the moment, I'm just a medical fun time. Literally this year, it's like I got treated for post-traumatic stress disorder. Went from severe to preclinical, which is good. Straight after that, I started having these fainting episodes, which keep landing me in the emergency room with tachycardia and chest pain and all that fun stuff. I also was recently diagnosed with PCOS, which has been a 10-year fight of telling doctors that no, my periods aren't normal. And then finally seeing someone under... So basically, it was through the NHS, but it was at a private hospital, so it was a privately paid doctor, because they just don't have enough staff and stuff. So that I didn't have to pay anything out of penny. And turns out they missed the polycystic ovaries twice on my scans, and the private consultant did one right there and then, and saw it. And I was just like, well, that's great. At least I have answers now, though. Do you think yours might be something else that's making your heart act up? I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the final trigger was, like, maybe my job and stress and stuff from that. But POTS, if it is POTS, is very much random. You could be completely healthy and then get it. You could be very sickly and not get it. You could be more predisposed to it. It really depends. It's one of those conditions which I don't know too much about still, but they've just gone from... Because it used to be counted as a psychosomatic thing, so they thought it was completely a mental health thing, but it is a physiological condition which affects the autonomous nervous system. So, I do hope you get it figured out. Thank you! I mean, I'm not like... Hold on, where's my words? I'm not like super hopeful that it turns out I have something which is super easily treatable and thoughtable, but at least if I have answers, I can take some solace in it and get some help with it, hopefully, like some form of treatment. Like, I finally was able to get treatment for my chronic nerve damage in my rib earlier this year. And let me tell you, getting injections in your nerves is weird, very painful, and like your whole body just like almost goes into shock because it's like you're not supposed to be able to touch the nerves, so it doesn't matter that they give you a local anesthetic in the area, you know, a numbing thing, you're still gonna feel it because you're touching the nerves. That's a guarantee. But I'm like just It's what is OG? Hi, Heavy. Welcome in. How you doing? I got a little cyberpunk theme going on with my PNG tuber at the moment. It's one of my alternate outfits, and it's super fun. Hope you're doing well. We're just talking about funny medical stuff right now. We've had a lot of fun conversations today. I thought it was glowing honey from radioactive bees. Love that. Radioactive bees. I love that. I don't think foxes and bees mix. I mean, have you seen, like, dogs trying to, like, play with bees and getting their whole mouth stung? That's, probably what would happen to me if I, got near a radioactive bee. Me. I'm also drawing. Awesome. I hope you're having fun with what you're drawing. I'm just doing commission work at the moment. It's a massive project for me. It's like my first really big project, so I'm getting as much done as I can when I can. Yeah, we're just here vibing. We've had loads of random conversations today. From F1 to my lovely medical nightmares to jobs to what else did we talk about? Music tastes and different song stuff and why I do my art and stuff. And yeah, it's a lot of yap. Super. Gluk? Tell me if I butchered that. I apologize. Oh no, ads. Wow. Sorry, guys. The fun is all it only say. Says the numbers I. It is only say. And now we need to do the tail. Let's find the tail colours real quick. Oh, so you're British. Smashing all the best. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a Brit. I'm a Brit. Crazy British lady. Full of scuff and chaos. Yeah, I just didn't want to mispronounce that because I was like, oh, I don't want to mispronounce it. Why ChatGPT gave me that variant as typical British? Oh my god. Days. That's another flag color down. Don't believe me playing with other people? Nah, you're fine. It's like, it wasn't my idea. It's like a stereotype, you know? It happens. It happens. Oh. Oh, sorry, hold on. I got an interview tomorrow for you. Your scuff for 1 point. Cheap. Okay. Sorry about that. I literally had a thing come up which, like, 30 minutes ago, scheduling an interview, so I'm like, oh my god, I need to confirm that. um, yeah, I'm just excited to, hopefully get some good news tomorrow. Also, I think it's a Game Awards. I just want to see what happens soon. I don't know when it is. I'm just clearing all the crap from my phone. At least we're almost at the same time zone. Are you like... words. Are you EU too? I thought I wanted to say German based on what you said before. But I didn't want to assume. That's cool. Oh, hello, my new German friend. All my scufflings are my friends. All my witchlings. Why did I say scufflings? Anyway, all my followers are my witchlings. Bleh. Oh, I haven't heard this in a while. But it is a little bit sad. Let's go for something a bit more upbeat. Okay. Should we try the line art on this one? Or are we like... Are we checked out? I don't know. Get started, can't we? I'm so boom. Man, I gotta get some prep done for this interview tomorrow then. If you're new, just for context, I'm a healthcare worker. If you know of the UK, you know of the NHS. The NHS is not a nice place to work, and I'm trying to get the hell out by any means. So that's why I'm like getting an interview tomorrow for a new job. It's not Clip Studio. Yes, I use Critter. It's like a little bit hard to use sometimes, but like I'm too used to it to switch, and I don't really have the money to do a Clip Studio subscription. I mean, I've heard loads of good things about Clip Studio, but yeah. I want to animate anyway. Ooh, nice. I like considered learning animating. I just don't have the time to at the moment because of full-time work. It does intrigue me. Like, I'd love to animate emotes one day. But hey. So, I can't help but just be, like, a little proud because I might bring it up, but, like, from what I drew in January, this stuff is so, like, different in, like, a good way. So I'm proud of myself. And yeah, it feels weird saying that. Like, me, proud of myself? That's crazy. My factory worker, but this was my dream. I know, that's amazing. I know it's a lot of people's dreams to, like, do art and the creative arts for a job. I know it's mine. Like, my dream is to be an author. And I've got a big project I'm working on. Maybe, hopefully, one day I'll get lucky. And yeah. I mean, my initial dream as well as being an author was to do, like, lab work in science, like, do, like, research or something. And when I joined the NHS and was doing, like, you know, well at my job and was given the chance to progress, I thought it'd be a good opportunity. But, the past couple of years has been hard. I won't lie. Like, the promises you get aren't what they're meant to be. Don't tell me. Da, 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 da. A lot of things happen. Yeah. I mean, there's a few big ones, actually. I mean, even just yesterday. No, I might do this on a separate layer and do it as like a rounded. This year wasn't the best, but it ended kind of positively. I'm glad it ended positively for you. That's good. I'm happy for you. I have hope. Yeah, and honestly, I think hope is powerful. I think with enough hope and enough perseverance, you can do anything. And that's what keeps me going. And this is my first year VTubing. I started in February. And since then, I'm surprised myself at what I've been able to do. So, yeah. Nothing is impossible. And I know to like some people like, oh, 400 followers isn't that much of a shout, but it is to me. And I appreciate every single person who comes out and shows me support, you know? And you never know. You never know what could happen in the future. Really. Who knows how well this goes for me? Hunter in the brain. Don't me more, please. Everything is possible until someone uses whatever best card on you. Please. Please. I'm drawing on the wrong layer again. That's a danger. Oh, Jesus Christ. I got jump scared. Thank you for the follow, Heavy. And thank you for the head pats. I still need to set that up. I'm such a scuff.
cheese,
Thank you for that cheese. Holy moly. What's up? What's up? That she scared me? James May is known to spook people. Boom! Jeez! Yup, James May. The goat.
Cheese.
And again. Should probably put a cooldown on this before people, like, really, like, spam it, but... Oh well. You hating this son? I don't like him. Damn. There is worse car brands out there. Like Renault. I don't like Renault. And I have a valid reason, as well as just them looking kind of ugly. And yes, it is like... You know, not all Renault drivers and Renault owners and Renaults themselves are bad, but... I don't like them. You hate Renault? Yes. I was in a car accident which left me with permanent nerve damage, and the driver was in a Renault Megane. That is my reasoning. It says you're LGBTQ friendly. Yeah, I am. I'm bisexual. But I have my petty reasons for like hating Renault because of the car accident. And also my friend keeps bullying me with the Renault Twingo, which is like one of the ugliest cars I've ever seen in my life. Wee. Wee. Oh my god. Oh my god, following this fucking... Okay, right. And now we're gonna do the arrows. Okay, so... Boo, boo, boo. Boo, boo, boo. Mm, mm, mm. Locked in again, I apologize. There we go. There we go. Nailed that shit. Making sure everything is saved. Okay. You really like long yellow moving and a bit of hissing stuff. What's her name? So this is smurfii's OC. So I'm doing a commission for them. Oh, are you talking about my snakes? Okay, Banana Boy is Felix, and the brown and tan girl is Pandora. Let me for snakes. Commission for snakes. Got it. So this is a commission for a client, but I have snakes. Yes, I have. We're in the future. Hold on. Let me. I'm sure I have photos of my snakes somewhere. That's an old photo, but here's the babies. Look at the babies. I got little blips of them and everything. They're so cute. They're my children, they're my babies. The pinned comment is basically I'm having to get a new vivarium for them. The current one has taken damage. We weren't expecting it, like we just recently rehomed them from our friend, and the Viv was meant to last longer. And vivariums are expensive. Seif, yes. When I went to Comic-Con, I got photo with Seif. That was the other photo, which I popped up by mistake. But yes. So the Ko-Fi goal is just some help with the Viv costs and stuff and all that. But the art I'm doing is for a client who is not a snake. You should also drink less Pepsi. I actually have been recently. Oh fuck. Pepsi upside down is dead. I mean, that's fair. That is a fair point. Steve, snakes. I'm such a scuff, I get confused sometimes. I do apologize. I'm easily confused bean. Is this the right one? It is. Oh my god, I fucked up my zoom. It won't let me zoom in. I love when, like, this happens. It won't let me zoom in with scroll wheel. As much as I want to chat, I want to work a bit. Feel free, you feel free to work. No worries. I'm probably going to finish this flat collar and then raid out anyway. It is getting late. And I do need to rest because of my issues at the moment. Be here only for hearing. No worries. You enjoy your working and lurking. And feel free to pop by anytime. I will be live tomorrow, pending I don't combust and end up in the emergency room. Because every time I make a stream schedule, fucking can't speak. Every time I make a stream schedule, I end up in fucking A&E. Like, let's try and break the curse. Yeah. Thank you for looking. I don't know why I put clothes and it's just a strap. But, oh well. There we go, my scroll's back. Woo! Anyways. Memories broken, the truth isn't spoken. I've even forgotten my name. What is the reason I'm standing here holding my breath? A desolate place without any trace. No, for real, I will be hard. The man in the mirror nods his head. Would the star on the other eye be gold or silver? Bum, 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 bum. Maybe gold. So we'll set this as a base color and then amp it up later. Man in the mirror nods his head. It's the only thing I've ever known. Just quickly locking in. Just get this last bit done. Okay. Right. Okay. Let us find someone to raid. Because this is been a very productive session for me. But I'm gonna go get some rest. So thank you guys for joining me today. Let's see who is around. You know what? I think I know who I want to raid, and it's gonna be really funny to raid them. I'm gonna be raiding the person who I'm doing the emotes for, because they're live right now. So let's go say hello to them. So, thank you guys so much for watching and being here today. I really, really appreciate all of you. Mwah! Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one tomorrow for Code Vein. Goodbye!
Try my model again.
If a hands or
Bam, 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 bam.
thank you for the raid.
Yo, thank you